next thing that we lead on to, which is a good tip for people to focus on, is what's the who is the person who makes the buy decision here? Now, identifying who the actual person who makes the decision is crucial. Sometimes it's very clear-cut. It's not a big deal at all. But other times it's a little bit different than who you thought it was. I mean, I'll give you a little example, and this is not necessarily that best example, but let's supposing we've got kids' underpants. Who buys the underpants for your 9-year-old child? Well, it's probably not your 9-year-old child. It's probably your wife who buys the underpants. And in fact, it's probably the wife who buys the underpants for a 40-year-old husband. Think about it. In the child's case, the child, he or she, may influence mum by saying, well, I like the ones with the Donald Duck logo on them. But this style of thinking is quite important, is that sometimes the person that makes the decision is not the actual person who's going to use the product. So you can get tripped up on it. Be aware, be very wary of that. Next issue I'd like to talk about is the price. And in marketing a product, you need to know where the sweet spot for the price is. You need to know what the middle range, Me Too sort of price is for that product group. And then you need to weigh very carefully, and I mean very carefully, what your hopefully if you've got it, your unique selling proposition, your difference between you and the rest of the crowd, is going to allow you to get as a premium here. Now, sometimes people get a bit swept away with themselves and ask an awesome premium because our thing will do this, that and something else. Well, that's wonderful. But will people be prepared to pay what you think they should to get that extra feature? I came from a background where I had it drummed into me about getting a product premium and really sweating on this issue. And, there's a difference between profitable companies and companies that make bugger all. So it's an important thing to sort of take on board. Not being too greedy, but making sure you get a premium if you've got the features that justify it. The other factor from a sales end you need to be aware of that, the average, for example, retail product, the difference between the producer and the customer is about a 3 times ratio. So, $1 winds up $3 by the time distributors put their margin on and retailers put their margin on. Now, sometimes that gets up to 5 to 1 if there's a lot of promotion involved. But the general point is that you need to be conscious of this sort of markup regime, and often salespeople need to put the pressure back on design people, development people, to give good, accurate feedback of what price you can realistically get, not giving it away, but in consideration of your feature benefits, what the realistic sweet spot is, and then try and get people to sweat on, well, if we can't get there, what sort of alterations to the product processing, whatever, can we make in order to get ourselves in that sweet spot. We don't need to get down to an absolute minute fraction of a cent here, but most people know what I'm talking about. There's that general range where you need to know if you're going to be way above it, it's not going to happen. Now, the next issue is for new product developers and for sort of one man or woman bands who are starting off in this sort of thing, especially, is the whole issue of the cost of distribution. So if you're trying to be a one product company and go and sell one product, this can be a very hard deal. Basically because you've got a difference between you and potentially your opposition, namely someone who may be selling a bag of products, where they've got 20 products in their bag in inverted commas, and they go and call on someone, and if they don't sell one product, they've still got the other 19 to go. So their costs of contribution are divided over 20 products in their bag, not one. So that's, basically the core reason why you wind up seeking distributors. Unless you can do a few big deals with 2 or 3, a small number of people, which usually is not always easy. But sometimes it happens with some products, but not too many. So if the whole concept of selling and distributing is proving too much for you, and I'm again talking to the one product companies here, then the other option you've got is the royalty deal, where you say, right, I've developed this product. Typically we have people come to us and we design the product and sort out the details and produce sets of drawings and look at the issue of protection, and then go to manufacturers and with a view to subbing out the various bits and things that have got to be made, and look at the packaging and other odds and ends. And we can, from those numbers, work out what the product's going to cost, what the tooling is involved, what sort of packaging's involved, what it's going to look like. We'll mock it up, and so more as you can see the end result like the real thing, even though we haven't made a single item yet. Now, it's all that information we put together in a pitch, which is designed to sell the concept to a range of people we'll suss out as being in that market area and potentially interested in that style of product. And in this case, we, looking for a royalty deal, so you get paid a royalty on whatever's, and we work out some sort of agreement whereby, and it's not always that simple, but whereby you're going to have a royalty and some sort of set of parameters to drive sales forward, but so you don't get involved in all the other issues we're talking about, but someone else sort of push that wheelbarrow. So summarising here, we've got basically today we have people with too many choices and with bugger all time. They just don't have time. So unless you've got a point of difference in your product, it's very hard. That is some sort of unique selling proposition. It's not easy to push your way into the marketplace. So basically you need to start to juggle things as we've suggested, to try and get your show on the road. Hope those few comments have been helpful. Thank you. Bye.